Hello, welcome, and thank you for joining us. It's Wednesday, May 15th. You're watching News 2 on via Channel 4 and on 504. I'm Leslie Kamisiang. Topping our stories tonight, the 33rd Legislature of the Virgin Islands confirmed 22 nominees from the Brian Roche administration on Tuesday. News 2's James Gardner has the story.
On the first day of a two-day session, the 33rd Legislature of the Virgin Islands approved 22 cabinet and judicial nominees from the Brian Roche administration. Each nominee was vetted by the legislature's Committee on Rules and Judiciary before being voted on by the full body during legislative session. Senator Kenneth Gittins, president of the 33rd Legislature, said some of the nominees were veteran public servants, while others brought a great deal of private sector experience. Governor Albert Bryan Jr. voiced his gratitude for the Senate's approval of his nominees. In a press release, the governor said, "Today was a good day for the Brian Roche administration and for the people of the Virgin Islands of the United States. We are grateful to the members of the 33rd Legislature for their vote of confidence and confirmation for each of the nominees, and look forward to the favorable confirmation of cabinet members still awaiting action by the body. Our administration remains focused and will continue its work to restore the trust of the people in the government, grow our economy, and improve the quality of life for the Virgin Islands residents." Senator Donna Fred Gregory highlighted the fact that 12 of the nominees were female. The senator said, "When women lead, the world changes." 3 women were approved for the VI Superior Court: Kathleen Mackay, Jessica Gallivan, and Deborah Watlington. 2 women were approved as commissioners: Raquel Berry Benjamin as Commissioner of the Department of Education, and Justa Encarnacion as Commissioner of the Department of Health. Jennifer O'Neill as Director of the Office of Management and Budget, Dana Clendenin as Director of the Division of Personnel, Barbara Jackson McIntosh as the Director of the Bureau of Motor Vehicles, and Winnie Testamark as Director of the Bureau of Corrections. Denise George Counts was approved as the VI Attorney General at the Department of Justice, and Leona Smith was approved as a member of the Port Authority Governing Board. Here is a list of the nominees approved by the legislature yesterday. For News 2, this is James Gardner.
Now, senators also unanimously supported a resolution calling on the United States Congress to provide subsidies to the U.S. Virgin Islands for the payment of earned income tax credits provided for under federal law. Senators also approved 4 lease agreements, 2 agricultural leases, as well as lease agreements for Victor's Hideout and Paradise Trucking Service. A rezoning was also approved that will allow a beauty supply store destroyed by Hurricane Irma to reopen elsewhere on St. John. In an apparent power grab, there has been a new configuration of the Senate with the installation of Novel Francis as the new Senate president and Kurt Vialet as the new chair of the powerful Finance Committee. There is a new Senate majority with Senators Barnes, Blyden, Degazon, Francis, Jackson, James, Payne, Sarro, and Vialet, and as well as the non-majority aligned senators. They are now Senators Benta, DeGraff, Fred Gregory, Gittins, Hodge, and Thomas. Now, news of this shakeup spread around the community in the last couple of days. However, most individuals brushed it off as rumor and conjecture. The new alignment has remnants of a power struggle that goes back to the formation of the legislature at the beginning of the year. We'll have more details as they become known. Meanwhile, the Virgin Islands Police Department has finally had a new commissioner nominee named. Governor Albert Bryan made the announcement yesterday that Trevor Vellenor, a St. Croix native and a special agent at the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives, will be the leading police department top official should his nomination go through the Senate successfully. A 29-year veteran of ATF, Villeneuve served as the special agent in charge of the Columbus Field Division over the state of Ohio and the Southern Judicial District of Indiana. Villeneuve was also recently promoted to Deputy Assistant Director of the Bureau's Office of Professional Responsibility and Security Operations at its headquarters in Washington, D.C., before leaving that post to return to the territory where he was nominated as the VIPD commissioner. Governor Bryan said on Wednesday that Villeneuve's career experience with the Bureau and his knowledge of the issues confronting the territory makes him uniquely qualified for the position. He will lead the administration's efforts to stem the tide of illegal firearms and drugs into the territory, according to Government House. Turning our attention to the crime blotter, police recently made an arrest in connection to a robbery at the McDonald's here in Tutu Park Mall in March. On Sunday, May 12th, Dequan Solis was arrested and charged with robbery, first-degree aiding and abetting. 20-year-old Solis was wanted in connection with the late-night robbery at McDonald's, Tutu Park Mall, on March 14th. Now, according to police, around 11:30 that night, 911 got a call that an armed robbery had just occurred at the McDonald's. A preliminary investigation revealed that after closing, an employee was taking out garbage through a rear door when he was confronted outside by an unknown individual dressed in all black and wearing a ski mask. Now, the masked man placed a gun to the employee's head and told him to keep walking back into the restaurant. Another individual, also dressed in all black with a black ski mask, followed behind, also with a gun in hand. The two men pointed their guns at employees, demanded their cell phones, and removed over $2,000 in cash from the cash registers. They then fled the scene in an unknown direction. None of the employees were hurt during the robbery. Solis's bail was set at $25,000. He was processed and remanded to the Bureau of Corrections pending his advice of rights hearing. Coming up next, a bit of confusion over who's in charge of the next St. Croix Festival, plus Governor Albert Bryan's push for more airlift into the territory. We'll be right back.